Awesome mamas. I don't know if anyone's actually going to see this. I decided to try something new today. Lyssah's going live, and I'm really glad you're here. This is a little bit different for me, but I'm enjoying it, I guess. We'll see. I'm still trying to figure out, because I don't have enough subscribers. I got to do it from my computer. FYI, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, do it, and I can do it from my phone. Plus, I actually just want to get you guys really good content. I'm looking for ways to communicate that. If anyone happens to be watching right now, if you could actually let me know if you can hear this. I'm using an external mic. I think it's picking up. I'm just not sure. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So for those of you who this is your first time here and you're like, hey, some random chick is live, welcome. My name is Lyssah, and this is Mama Wears Many Hats. The whole purpose of this channel is to empower you to birth beauty into any arena of your life. And when I say that, I mean it. I think that mamas, all too often, we end up on an island, and that is not helpful to anyone. I may say more. I normally edit those out. And if I say, okay, I'm sorry, I'm really trying to break myself with that one. So I'm really glad you're here. If you're catching this on the replay, awesome. That is my guess when more people are going to catch it. So I know this is more for my practice than y'all's, but I am going to be bringing some good content. My goal of this channel is to really empower moms and give you the tools that you need to win at life, and not to win at life in a way that is how someone else would win at life, but to win at life how you want to win at life in a way that is important for you. And if I randomly have to jump off screen, it's just because my littlest child is over hanging out, playing. He's happy right now, but we all know that could change at the drop of a hat. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm trying really hard not to ramble, but I'm, again, just kind of getting the feel for this. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. All right. So what I want to share with you guys today is actually about the mindset of motherhood. And it's a specific aspect of the mindset of motherhood. I don't know about you guys. I like podcasts. I like YouTube videos. I like content that helps me feel stronger as a mom. And I find sometimes that content is actually not geared towards moms. Like, why do we think the only content that should be geared towards moms is either like silly, self-deprecating, or like causing conflict about like, are you a peaceful parent? Are you a authoritarian parent? Are you a helicopter parent? Are you all like, we focus on all these other things. And what I want to really empower you guys with today is 5 things that you should say / ask yourself daily to help you be the best mom you can be. I did not make these up. Okay, I'm actually bringing these over from Jody Maberry's podcast. He does podcasts for not for park leaders. Well, he does. He does podcasts for leaders. And all of a sudden I remember thinking, wait a second, moms are like the most legit leaders there are. You've got to control and rule the troops. You've got to deal with emotions. You've got to bring order. You've got to cast vision. Everything a leader has to do, a mom has to do. So why don't we give moms these tools? Why do we keep them for the boardroom or for people who consider themselves to be C-level people? I don't know. So today I'm bringing them to you because I know probably most of you wouldn't come across Jody Maberry's podcast. I will link once this is over. I think I can go back in and edit the description. And I'm sorry, I'm like listening. I'm using my ring light. It's hot. So anyway, I'm sorry for all the hair flips. All right. So I will link to that below and you can go ahead and check that out. Oh my gosh, there's 2 people watching. Sorry guys, I just saw that. I didn't realize that would tell me right there. Super excited. Hi 2 people. I'm so glad you're here. You can lurk. That's totally cool. You can jump into the comments because that's one of the cool things about a live. And especially since there's only a few of us, I will totally answer and respond and all that fun stuff. So that's it. No pressure though. You do you. All right. So what I want to talk to you guys about, like I said, was the mindset of a mama. I listened to Jody Maberry's podcast. Actually, I was doing his show notes. That's one of the things I do as a work-at-home mom is I do podcast show notes. And so I get to listen to some really good podcasts that I might otherwise not ever have any awareness of. And with this one, he was talking with a guest, and I will put that in the description because I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name and I don't want to say it wrong. And he was talking about the 5 things that he says / asks himself every morning to help him be in the right frame of mind. And as I was listening and taking notes, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's legit. Why am I not asking myself this? Why am I not telling myself this? Oh my gosh, what? Like mind was blown. Okay. So I'm going to go through these pretty quick because I don't want to, I'm really trying to get to content quick. Obviously, I was talking, getting used to it, but now we're going to go. I want this to be valuable. If it is valuable or if there's something that resonates with you, go ahead and let me know in the comments. If you have questions, let me know, or thoughts, and I'll read them out loud. It'll be great. So the first thing that he was going over was how he goes over these statements with himself or the questions with himself, because it is important to think different. If there is something like, you've heard, if you want something you've never had, you have to do things you've never done. If you want something you've never had, you have to think about things in ways you've never thought before. It's kind of that perception. And so he was really going through how these are the 5 things he reminds himself of every morning. The first one was like a dagger to the heart. Just wait. Number 1 thing he reminds himself every day is rest is a weapon. It's an advantage. How many moms out there are like, oh my gosh, if I could rest, it'd be awesome. But when I realized that, I feel selfish when I rest sometimes. Like if my kids are, I feel like I should be playing with them, or I feel like I should be doing something, or people like say things and I feel like I should be this mom who's like Pinterest with the sensory bins and the doing the string across the hallway gymnastics thing because they're stuck inside, like all these different things. And then I feel bad if I'm exhausted and I feel like I should rest. But when he said this, rest is a weapon, it's an advantage. Now, I'm not saying we're at war with our kids or with our partners or anything like that, but I am saying that I have noticed that a rested me does give me the upper hand over the people in my life, not in a competitive way, but in a, when they're having an emotional moment, I don't have to have an emotional moment too, because I'm rested. I have given myself a foundation of solid rest to be working from, so I'm not becoming responsive. When my 2-year-old starts having a tantrum and I haven't slept because my 6-month-old was up nursing 9 times in a night, rest is a weapon. Use it to your advantage. Mom, every day is a battlefield against yourself. Okay, of being the mom you want to be and the mom you feel like you have to be and the mom that just gets dragged out of you in the moment. So make sure to get rest. All right, number 2, this is something you're going to ask yourself every day. What does this make possible? Okay, this is a way of training your mindset to look at a situation as an opportunity and not opposition. I'm going to give you actually a short example that happened to us recently in light of all the fun stuff that's been going on. And there's been a lot of talk about stimuluses and all this kind of stuff. So back towards the beginning of the year, I actually had to step back from a lot of my VA work because of some complications after my most recent birth, my son Milo, back in October. I was diagnosed with postpartum, and there was some heart things that were happening, and we were trying to get that all worked out, and stress was making it so much worse. And then the medicine I was on was making my brain all like I just couldn't focus, and I had to take a big step back, which for me was really hard. But again, this is a weapon, needed to do that so I could be refreshed and ready to serve my family. So in that, I was actually looking forward to the stimulus check because we had been living off some of the savings. We had been living off some of our tax savings, like different stuff like that, because of losing some of those clients and offboarding them in a very respectful and amicable way. So when we got our stimulus check, it was a little late, and it was, and so I knew we wouldn't be getting any money for my son Milo, but I knew we'd be getting it for Caden and Everly. And so when it was less than I was expecting, I was like, wait, no, and I'm like, hey, let me figure out, why would it be less? Why is it saying that? Like, let me jump in there. And so I started looking back at our taxes and the ones that I was getting ready to file. Then I jumped back to 2018. And I realized that for some reason, Everly, my second child, who was born on December 25th, 2017, wasn't qualifying for the child, what's it called? The child did like a credit. There you go. The child credit. She was getting a dependent credit, but she wasn't getting the child credit. Child credit's $2,000. Dependent credit's $500. I'm like, why is that happening? So I went back and looked, and I realized when I did our 2017 taxes, I had said that she had only lived with us for 0 months because she was born December 25th. I had totally, in my new mom haze, because she was only about 2 months old when I was trying to do taxes, I had marked her as not having lived with us, but with a new baby, you're supposed to mark them as living with you. So for 2 years, going into 3 years, we actually had like $1,500 that was getting left on the table from this credit. What? So because our stimulus was less, I was able to go back. We're filing an amendment on our 2018, 2017, and I was able to fix it on our 2018 tax, 2019 taxes, where I thought we were going to owe so much money, and that immediately just dropped it down. So we went from like losing $500 to essentially gaining like $4,500. You know what I mean? So like we were 4,000 ahead in the long run because of that $500 mistake. So where I could have looked at that situation and that circumstance and been like, oh, what are we going to do? Instead, I asked myself, what does this make possible? Now, I asked that in hindsight because I was doing these notes after, but I realized that was exactly the situation. And so now when I'm running into stuff like that, I'm asking myself, what does this situation make possible? This may suck in the moment, but what is it making possible? What doors is it opening? All that kind of stuff. So ask yourself that every day. In the morning, when your kid's having a meltdown, ask yourself, what does this make possible? It makes a teachable moment possible. I can teach her that we should take a breath instead of screaming at the top of our lungs. I don't know, maybe just me. Okay, number 3, do the one thing. Any multitasking mamas out there? Just me? Do the one thing, the right thing at the right time. I don't know about you guys. I can wake up and have a to-do list 2 miles long, or I can get up and, as I'm going about this, my kid needs something, so I stop what I'm doing and I jump over there, and all these different things. And it can feel like you're being pulled in so many directions, and it can be really hard to prioritize what should I actually be doing in this moment. Do the right thing at the right time. Ask yourself, in this moment, what's the right thing? What can wait? If this moment is the only moment I have, what needs the response? What needs the action now? And that has been helping me a lot. There are times when I want to be cleaning and I want to be doing this, and all of a sudden my daughter's having a meltdown, and I have the choice to be like, suck it up and try and finish what I'm doing with her screaming, or I have the choice to stop, sit down with her, and try and get to the bottom of what's going on. Help her have the tools to process through the emotions that she's feeling. So, number 3, do the one thing, the right thing at the right time. All right, number 4, ask yourself, what is it for? Okay, when you are doing things and maybe you're still asking yourself, what's the right thing at the right time? Ask yourself, what is it for? What are you doing it for? And if it doesn't drive what you're doing, why are you doing it? If it doesn't drive you towards being a good mom, why do it? Now, before people get up in arms about that, I'm not saying that everything has to be the most important thing in the world. Guess what? Sometimes taking a minute and watching a little Netflix to defrag your brain does make you a better mom. At least it does for me. If I have that minute to turn everything else off and kind of get out of my situation for a second and laugh or think about something else or whatever the case is, I'm actually better for that. So I want to encourage you, ask yourself, does this drive what I'm doing? And if it doesn't, why do it? Just a thought. Last but not least, because I got to jump off here, is do your best and forgive yourself. And this one may actually be the hardest one, because I know there are days when I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Like I yelled at my kid, or didn't respond well, or I forgot to do this, or and there are so many things that can leave us feeling like we're a bad mom. But mama, if anyone deserves forgiveness, it's you. Okay? Yes, you may have lost your patience with your child. They're not going to remember that in the long run. They're going to remember all the love that you showed them over time. So rather than dwelling on what you did wrong, forgive yourself, move on. In the next situation, do the right thing that is moving towards what it is that you're wanting to accomplish, because you've kept yourself rested. Do you see how all those work together? Like, I was amazed. I was like, where has this been my whole motherhood journey? So anyway, do your best and forgive yourself. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. We all lose our cool. We all miss the mark every once in a while. That doesn't absolve us from making a mistake, but it does give us strength not to make that later on. If you're worried about what you've done wrong in the past, you're not going to see the potential snares, so to speak, in the future. So that's it. You won't know until you try. I just want to remind you guys that words are powerful. A simple word can create a paradigm shift. So that's why it's important to go over these things with yourself on a regular basis. So I'm going to say them again really quick. The 5 things that you need to remind yourself of every morning. Rest is a weapon. It's an advantage. What does this make possible? Do the one thing, the right thing at the right time. What is it for? If it's not getting you there, get away from it and do your best to forgive yourself. I said that wrong, sorry. 5, do your best and forgive yourself when you haven't. Okay, so that's it, mamas. I'm so glad you were able to join. If you're watching this back later, awesome. Let me know if you like the live element. If you're like, please stick to normal video because you can edit yourself out. Awesome. Just let me know. Okay, guys, thank you so much. If you haven't already, give this a like if it ministered to you. If it didn't, you're like, shut up, give me a dislike. I'm good. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. And if you can think of a mom that maybe this might help you with, or sorry, if you can think of a mom that this might be helpful to her, go ahead and shoot that over to her. Love you guys. Bye.